Greetings and welcome to the introduction to astronomy. In this week's misconception in astronomy, we are going to talk about mass and weight and find out if those are really the same thing. So are mass and weight the same? Well, no, they are definitely not the same. They are two different things. So mass is the amount of material in an object. That's how much matter is there. That doesn't depend on anything else. It's simply how much material is there. Weight measures the gravitational force on an object. Now, if the gravitational force is the same, then the mass and the weight can have similar properties, but they are not measuring the same thing. Again, one is measuring how much material is in this apple, for example, how much matter is within it, that is its mass. And weight will measure the gravitational force on the apple as pulled by the earth. But if you move that apple to another planet, then it would have a different weight, but its mass will always remain the same. So the key thing here for the mass is that the mass of an object is the same everywhere, no matter where you measure that. The weight of an object depends on where it's located. Now let's take a look at this a little more. And what we can see in our table here is we have a set of objects here. And the planet that you're looking on for some object for a person that say weighs 150 pounds on Earth. Well, what would they weigh on each of these other objects in our solar system? Well, if the object has less mass than Earth, then you're going to weigh less there. So a person weighing 150 pounds on the Earth would weigh only 25 pounds on our moon. But that same person would also weigh 379 pounds on Jupiter. Their mass is still the same. We're not changing the amount of matter inside the person. So they're still made up of exactly the same amount of stuff. But the gravitational pull has changed, and that is what weight measures. So when we look at a weight, we're measuring how strong, in this case, the Earth is pulling on an object. If we want to measure its mass, that is completely different. That is independent of where you are. The mass will be the same any place in the solar system or any place in the universe. Now we can actually look at some of the measurements of mass and weight. So in the English system, the mass is measured in slugs, so not a unit that we're used to using. And the weight is measured in pounds, which is what we normally use. So if you're buying something at the grocery store, you might buy a certain number of pounds of it. And that would be the gravitational pull of it. But there would be more or less of it if you were buying it on a different object. Now in the metric system, the mass is used as the kilogram. So you tend to buy things in kilograms in that case. And the weight is actually measured in newtons, which is the gravitational pull on that amount of mass. So mass and weight are really two very different things. So let's go ahead and summarize what we've looked at here. And what we found is that mass and weight measure two different things. Mass will measure the amount of material within an object. The weight will measure the gravitational pull on that object by whatever planet or moon or other object it happens to be on. So that concludes this misconception in astronomy on mass and weight being the same thing. We'll be back again next week for another misconception in astronomy. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.